The Epic Billiards Novel, One Last Cue. Episode 1, A Smooth First Experience. It was Sunday, the last day of the New Year holidays. My wife happened to take the kids to a friend's house. I thought about going to the office to work, but since it had been nearly a month since I last practiced, I decided to head to the club to renew my resolve. Hanmam Billiard Club. It was 2 p.m. and the place was almost packed. The full-size tables were all taken, so I started practicing on a standard table. It's been 6 months since I decided to become a 3-cushion player, but I've only managed to practice about once a month. Today is only my 4th visit. On my first day, I only practiced the break shot. From the second visit, I added cross-table shots to my break shot practice. Today, I intended to focus on position play. I was setting up the balls according to a 3-cushion manual when the owner came and told me a full-size table was free. I thought he was telling me to practice there, but it turned out he had arranged a match for me. I was momentarily flustered. I wanted to practice rather than play a match. Because my goal is to be a world champion, I didn't want to waste time on just games. But the club was crowded on a weekend afternoon, and I couldn't expect to occupy a table all by myself. Reluctantly, I decided to give it a shot and started the game. To be honest, I had never played a match on a full-size table before. The 16-coiner with a good break. My opponent looked to be in his late 40s. He was about 168 centimeters tall and weighed around 75 kilograms, wore black sportswear, had short curly hair and a cap. He asked me firmly, "What's your handicap?" I replied, "I'm around 200 in 4-ball, but this is my first time in 3-cushion." He said he should probably check with the owner. While I was in the restroom, he had already set the balls for banking and was waiting. He said for a 200-point 4-ball player, a 16-point handicap is standard. And so, for the first time, I played with a 16-point handicap on a full-size table. My opponent's handicap was 21. I said, "Let's have a good game," and he replied, "I'll do my best," as we began banking. It was my first 3-cushion match, and even banking made me feel like a pro. On the other hand, I was nervous about whether I'd bank well. I lagged without any particular intention, but my ball stopped almost touching the cushion. It was a near-perfect win in banking. I suddenly had a premonition of victory. Since my ball was yellow, I tried to take the break with it, but he quickly informed me that the break shot must be with the white ball. I was flustered for a moment, but I aimed at the break with the white ball. Aiming thick on the left of the first object ball with 2 tips at 2 o'clock, I used a smooth follow-through just like I practiced. It felt slightly stronger than in practice, but the trajectory looked good. I scored the break shot. Successfully. It didn't lead to a back pin position, but it was a decent setup, though I failed to follow up with another point. I must have practiced that break shot at least 100 times. Surprisingly, the break shot is not easy. Statistically, my success rate was only about 30%, but scoring it in my first match made me feel like I could actually win. When I scored the break, my opponent whispered, "Nice." But for some reason, it sounded to me like, "Oh, look at him go." High run of 3. He had a slightly husky voice, but seemed very well-mannered. His stroke was a bit punchy. He drew impressive trajectories from difficult positions, but unfortunately, many narrowly missed. I led throughout the early stage, but he briefly overtook me with a 3-run in the second half. Since neither of us had long runs, it would have been a boring match for a spectator, but for me, it was my first real experience, so I had no time to rest. After he took the lead with a 3-run, I felt a wave of anxiety and self-doubt. Even while telling myself to play with a learning mindset, since I had been leading, I really didn't want to lose. While I was having these thoughts, he narrowly missed a few shots, and I capitalized with single points or small runs to take back the lead. Once I overtook him, he looked a bit flustered. It was subtle, but I could sense victory then. In that psychological state, I made a high run of 3, leaving only 2 points. After that, my opponent showed signs of fatigue, sighing and complaining. I think this proves the power of a high run. I reclaimed the lead and demoralized him with that 3 run, or rather he simply lost his motivation. Finishing with a short angle shot. The 16th point was a short angle shot. The final point was a short angle position, hitting the red ball near the opposite corner with 2 tips at 10 o'clock, hitting at 1/3 thickness to bring it back. The second object ball wasn't a big ball, but my success rate with short angle shots was good that day, and I nailed the final position. My opponent had 7 points left. His average likely was around 0.3. I was nervous for my first game, but I was very focused. That's how I won my first 3-cushion match. I was lucky to win the banking, and I scored the break shot. I wasn't perfect, but I thought about position play at every moment. There were tough spots, but I stayed calm and gave it my all. Winning the first game gave me even more confidence. I can be a World 3-cushion champion. After the game, we talked in the smoking area. He said he was surprised by my smooth stroke during the break. He felt then that I might be better than I looked. It wasn't just a smooth stroke, I actually scored. I think I managed to gain a psychological edge from the start. The break shot is surprisingly difficult. I often see pros fail at it. If pros do, a novice playing his first game must have really caught him off guard by making it perfectly. I'm glad I focused on practicing the break shot. I should keep practicing it consistently.
되겠습니다. 2시 2팁, 두께 2분의 1. 초고 치듯이. 한시 2팁, 두께 8분의 5. 이번엔
Wow, this time,
완벽한
it's a
포지션입니다.
perfect position. The red ball stopped right here, and the white ball is a total big ball in the corner.
볼의 형태로 섰습니다.
This might not end with just 2
이
points.
점으로 끝나지 않을 수 있습니다.
I should
이거는 회전
reduce the
원팁으로
spin to
줄여야
1
되겠습니다.
tip.
회전 원팁.
Okay, 1 tip, thickness 5/8 again to set up the
8분의 5
next
쳐서
position.
또 포지션을 만들도록.
Ah, was it too soft? It was too soft.
약했네.
Ah, too thin, too thin.
얇아.
제한 시간이 초과되었습니다. Turn.
한시
1
2
o'clock,
팁,
2 tips,
8분의 5.
5/8 thickness. I think I made a perfect position again. This one is a bit tricky. I need to avoid the kiss.
키스를 제거해야 되는데 이거는
Since the kiss is an
키스가
issue
걸려있는
here,
문제이기
I'll use
때문에
the software to save the
소프트웨어의
layout and
기능을
practice it.
이용해서 공의 배치를
Improve your skills quickly with Dr. Billiard's BPS.
Break time.
자, 이거는
Now, for this, hitting at
8분의 3
3/8
두께로 치면
thickness should avoid the
키스는 뺄
kiss.
수 있겠네요.
At
2분의 1
1/2
두께로
thickness,
치면
there
여기서
might be a
키스가
kiss
있을 것
here,
같고
but at 3/8,
8분의
the
3으로
red ball will
치면
move
빨간
that
공이
way and
이쪽으로
avoid it.
가면서 키스가
I'll go
빠질
with
것 같습니다.
3/8.
8분의 3으로 치겠습니다.
Aim for
회전은
2 o'clock, One
2시
tip,
방향
3/8 thickness.
두께는 8분의 3 겨냥해서 빨간
Let the
공을
red ball
조금
go
먼저
first,
가도록
a stroke that transfers
빨간 공에
power to the
힘을
red
전하는
ball.
스트로크로
Hit
8분의 3보다
slightly thinner than
조금
3/8,
얇은
closer
듯하게
to
맞았는데
1/4, but it's
4분의 1에
okay.
가까운 점수가 맞았는데 괜찮습니다.
2점.
자, 2점 쳤고요. 이제 키스를 넘기긴 했는데 이건
I avoided the
코너에
kiss,
딱
but this is right in the corner. It needs to go here. Should have
여기
hit the 5-point mark.
5포인트에 걸려야 되는데
That was close.
3점.
The epic billiards novel, One Last Cue.